guys, and we're back again with another quick video tutorial. And before you do anything, I need you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss what's coming out of Neilville. Also hit the little bell button, which is the notification button, to get all uploads when we first post our videos. And so because it is soup season, I decided to do a cabbage and beef soup. Some people call this also beef and cabbage roll soup, but whatever you want to call it, let's go ahead and get the ingredients. We have our cabbage, our ground beef, we have our beef broth, our beefy onion soup, tomato paste. I'm also adding an onion, which I forgot, and rice, a cup of rice, celery, carrots, and for my seasonings, I have the Saison Complete, I have my thyme seasoning, I have basil, and I'm also going to be doing some crushed bay leaves as well. So let's get right into it. The first thing you want to do, I am browning up 3 pounds of ground beef. And once you get that browned up, guys, you want to go ahead and drain that ground beef. Now, what I did leave a little bit of that grease in there so we can cook our veggies. And I do be leaving the leaves on the celery because you can't eat that. And so I cut up an onion. I cut up about 3 celery stalks. I did some baby carrots. And once your onions get translucent, you want to start seasoning up. I did some pepper and some Lowry seasoning salt. And I didn't do a lot of salt on the other things that I'm adding because of the beefy onion soup, and it has salt in it. And now we're going to add excuse me, a tablespoon of garlic, and we're getting that mixed around. Once you get that mixed around, you want to add your ground beef back into the pot. And when we add our ground beef back into the pot, we're going to start adding our seasonings. And like I told you before, of course, we have our Saison Complete seasoning. We have our thyme. We have the basil leaves. And we're going to be doing some crushed bay leaves. Now, if you have the regular bay leaves, the whole bay leaves, you know, you can put a couple of those in there and then just know to take them out. But the crushed bay leaves, you don't have to take these out. They're so small that they're edible. So, also, for those who haven't, excuse me, guys, for those who haven't subscribed to my YouTube, my TikTok channel, don't forget to follow What's Cooking in Neilville. I have a lot of things on my TikTok channel that I don't have on this channel. So remember to go follow me on there. And so now we have our seasonings in, and we're getting that mixed all up. And then we're getting ready to add some tomato paste. And I'll be using 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now, I did not want this really a red soup. However, you can add a can of tomatoes or a can of tomato sauce to this if you want. Honey, remember, it's your kitchen. Whatever you want to do to your soup. And that's why I told you before, I love soup, because you can do whatever you want and add or take away. Honey, it's your kitchen. So now, guys, we cut up our cabbage. Now, in the beginning of the video, you seen I had 2 small cabbages. Well, I used 1.5. I didn't use the whole second cabbage. And now I'm just kind of mixing it. I didn't put it all in at one because it'll be over full. So what I'm doing now, I'm mixing it. And as it cooks, the cabbage is going to start wilting down. And this is a 48-ounce container of beef broth. I did add the whole container, but I'm adding it little by little to let some of the cabbage cook down. And as it cooks down, we'll add more cabbage and more of the beef broth as we go. And so now we're adding the rest of the cabbage because it's cooked down a little bit. Once it get in that heat, and see, cabbage is full of water, and so once it gets in heat, it's going to wither and kind of draw up and release that water. And so now we're going to add our two beefy onion soups, and I'm also doing that in steps as well because I didn't want a big mess. So I add the rest, like most of the cabbage, then more beef broth, then the beefy onion soup, then I'm going to add more cabbage, the rest of the remaining cabbage. And so at this point, you're basically just making sure that the cabbage cooked down, because, and if I had a bigger pot, I could have just threw it all in there. But I knew the cabbage was going to cook down, so I didn't need a bigger pot. This pot was actually perfect. This is my Dutch oven, and I don't know how big it is, but I just knew that it would be perfect for this particular soup. And so now we have got all of our cabbage in our pot, and then we added more beef broth, and then we're going to add our second onion soup, and we're going to get that mixed around. But I'm also going to be adding water, and this is going to give it more liquid as it cooks. And I think I added about 2 cups of water to this point because I wanted to kind of not totally cover the soup, because like I said, as the cabbage cooked down, it's going to release its water and it's going to make more juice for you. So now at this point, what we're going to do, we're just mixing everything around. Then we're going to put the top on this, and I'm going to let this cook on a medium heat for about 45 minutes before I add in my rice, because you want to do the rice at the very end. But you want to let it cook so your carrots can get soft, so your cabbage can wilt, so all your veggies can get tender. And once you cook it for about 45 minutes on a medium heat, you want to go back in and kind of stir everything around. Make sure that your cabbage and your carrots and things like that is soft enough. And I also wanted to make sure that it was enough water in it as well. So you kind of check it periodically. You don't want it too full, but yet you want enough water, because I'm adding 1 cup of rice, and I got to have enough liquid not only for the soup but also to cook the rice. And so now we're just mixing the rice around, and we're going to turn our stove at like you're cooking rice now. You're going to turn your stove onto a simmer because it's already at a boiling point. So then you want to put your top back on it and let that simmer for 15 minutes. And then you'll see the results after the rice is cooking for 15 minutes. Guys, this is a really, really good hearty soup. It's really cold right now in Tennessee. And so these type of soups, honey, they really just warm you up. The comfort food, I love comfort food. And my family, they devoured this soup. Do you hear me? And I want you to kind of see the consistency of his soup and how it thickens up. Like I said, this is a very hearty soup. And like I said before, if you wanted to add a can of tomatoes or tomato sauce in here, you can do that, honey. It's your kitchen. Do what you want. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I explained it well. Please forgive my voice. It's getting cold, and I think I'm coming down with a cold, but I'm gonna get through it. I got me some cold medicine, so we're gonna be good. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, don't forget to share, you guys. And remember, like I told you before, it's your kitchen. Do what you want.